Lionhearts. We have a big day ahead of us, so let's get it started now. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Well, we're starting our day off in Wallingford today, and take a look at this first thing. Look at this pole. This is great. Look at all the animals going up and down it. Kind of a little cool art piece. Well, Lionhearts, when I was a kid, one of my favorite movies, and it was definitely the first thing that I ever saw John Lithgow in, and it was definitely the first time I had ever heard of a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch. There was a movie when I was a kid called Harry and the Hendersons, and it took place here in Seattle, and I was just curious, I wonder if there's any chance they actually filmed that here. Well, sure enough, they did, and I found the house. Let's take a look at it. Well, here it is. John Lithgow's family's house in the movie. Basically, the story of the movie is that this family is out camping for the weekend, and on their way home, they hit a Sasquatch. They hit Harry, and they end up bringing him home because John Lithgow, George, is going to figure out, you know, what he's going to do. He kind of wants to be the first one to ever discover a Bigfoot. But then Harry becomes human to them, kind of, you know, like they start seeing his characteristics and they end up kind of falling in love with him and end up protecting him in the end. It's a really great movie, and a lot of the movie takes place right here in the house, most of it actually, especially those scenes where he has spit out the orchid, the daughter's corsage from her 15th birthday, and scares the family out of the house, and they're running around this side of the house, looking in the windows, watching Harry destroy all their property. But I figured, you know, the Harry and the Hendersons house is here. I gotta show you guys. I love this kind of stuff. So if you've never seen the movie, definitely check it out. It's a classic in my opinion. I just watched it about 6 months ago. It still holds up. It's pretty good. So like I said, we have a lot to see today, so let's head off to our next stop. Had to pull over along the way. I saw this mural and wanted to show you. I like that walrus on the end. Well, now as you can see, we've made our way over to a bridge to see a troll. Yep, I kid you not. At one point, Seattle had a problem here where a lot of homeless people were hanging out and living under the bridges, so they decided to make a roadside attraction of a troll to give people something to go visit. As you can see over here, there are still some people living over here, but now there's an art piece here. The Fremont troll. How cool is that? When I read about it, I said, I gotta come check this out. He's even got like a silver eye, and then look at what they did. They put like a VW bug down here in his hand. Pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to get a picture of myself inside inside his arms or up there somewhere. Let's see what I can figure out. And apparently all the neighborhood apartments have embraced it. Troll eye. Now there's something I want to show you now in the day, and then maybe also come back at night too. They kind of light it up at night. So this isn't it actually. This is our this is along our way, but I wanted to show you anyway. It was on my planned places to stop, and this is a, for some odd reason, a statue of Vladimir Lenin. And I mean, it looks just like him. There's no question who it is, including all the way down to the red hand. See that? Somebody painted his hand red. And I'm not really sure what the deal is with these either, but these look pretty cool. Now, since we're over in the area of Fremont, of course we have to have something called the Fremont rocket, don't we? Now, if you look on your right side, you'll see Saturn. And then if you look on your left, you'll see the Fremont rocket. So here they have a little bit of the history of the Fremont rocket. You can see what it looks like. Now, what I mentioned and why I liked it was I drove by it the other night, and it actually lights up at night. But it says here that this was kind of a research project in 1991, a couple of Fremont scientists realized that this was technically the center of the universe, and so they decided they needed to start up some sort of crazy attraction, and here it is. Now it says at one time it used to shoot out bursts of smoke, steam and smoke. Look at that, how cool is that? And when I came by it the other night, I drove past and you could see that this all this under here lights up. So maybe we'll come back here one of these nights, or maybe even tonight, and check it out. Then, like I mentioned, there's Saturn up there in all its glory. And I absolutely have to show you the logo on this sweet spot. Take a look at that, I just had to show you this. Their logo is a sweet way to be hair-free. That's an awesome logo. That's an interesting way of promoting your wrapping business. Doing like a Hot Wheel style wrap. So you can see we're right across from the Lenin statue, and they actually have a Red Star bar right here. And I had to come over here and show you this because they had one of those high divers. The neon sign of a high diver. I love that stuff. There must be some questionable fan support around here. Oh, so I was just reading up on this statue, why it's here. Apparently there was a man named Louis Carpenter who was studying in Poland and found this statue lying face down in the mud, and looked up, researched it, and found that the sculptor of it was this really gifted sculptor, and he didn't want to see it go to waste or anything, so he ended up mortgaging his house to getting it moved all the way here to Washington. And originally it was located somewhere else, but then they got like a really bad rainstorm and the ground below it started to sink, so they moved it over to here. Pretty cool story. Now we're headed off to see something the 5th grader me would love to have seen. Well, being a lifelong baseball fan, I've tried to make it a point anytime I go to a city to check out their baseball park if I can. But this one has a special place in my heart because when I was about 9 years old, I became obsessed with watching Ken Griffey Jr. play. I don't know if it's because he was the son of a Cincinnati Red from the Big Red Machine, or if it's because he grew up in Cincinnati or went to Moeller High School, but I became a fan of the kid. And he played here, even retired here, and they have a statue. Let's go check it out. And it's not only Junior that they've honored here, they've also honored one of the greatest designated hitters of all time, Edgar Martinez. So here it is, man. Statue of the kid. Guy who pretty much changed the face of this franchise. Drafted at the top of his class. Rookie of the Year. God, the guy just did it all. Hall of Famer. Yeah, look at that. 600 home runs. Now, he played here for the first part of his career, and then, of course, you know, decided to go back home, decided to go play for Cincinnati. He didn't have quite the career in Cincinnati I think that he was hoping, plagued by injuries, but it was a really sad day in my life when he was announced that he was traded from the Reds to the White Sox. He played there for a short time, and then following season came back to Seattle. You can see there he played for the first 10 years here. Then 2009, 2010 here. Kind of a fitting way to go out for Junior. And I'd kind of like to check out the team store while we're here. There we can see a little bit inside. Look at that sculpture of baseball bats. Yep, of course it's not baseball season, so we have no hope of seeing a game. Oh yeah, I guess if I would have thought ahead, I probably could have taken a ballpark tour. Just to tell you how big of a fanatic I was. Every year for my birthday, our grandparents would take us out and let us pick out what we wanted for our birthday. And one year I went out and got a Griffey Jr. shirt and fitted hat. So let's go check this out. Oh, and of course you can't forget the great Ichiro played here. Cool, the old throwback stuff. Well, on the discount rack right now is Robinson Cano. Even in throwback form. Oh, that's a great shirt. Same with that one. That's the hat I always wanted. I got this hat, and then as soon as I got it, about 2 months later, whenever the season ended, they switched over to this look. They have this in the clearance bin, and I should get it because it's got the Griffey patch and everything on it, but it's not my size. If I can find one of my size, I might get one. Nope, unfortunately, even though they were in the clearance section, they didn't have them in my size. The hats were all way too big. Cool jerseys, though. I had to come upstairs because this is all their game used and autograph stuff. I want to see what they had. $1,500 for a Griffey jersey signed. That's a great quote. When you have fun, it changes all the pressure into pleasure. Here's the Griffey autograph case. The autograph baseball alone is $500. I'm glad that I already have that. That's pretty cool. It's his Hall of Fame plaque signed. Well, this has been a fun stop, but I think we're going to move along. So now we're going to leave Safeco Field and we're going to head off to something called Arcade Plaza. I can't wait to see this. That is not exactly what we came to vlog. I'm not even sure who that is. So check this out. This is what we came to see. Luckily it didn't snow or anything to cover this up, but this is what they call Arcade Plaza. Isn't that cool? It's just a ground painting of one big Pac-Man game. There's Pac-Man. You can see the ghost right there. A couple of the ghosts over here. Yeah, I thought that was worth checking out. I love this kind of stuff. I wish more places had things like this. Our next stop is another big one for me. I've always wanted to see this place, and we're gonna do it today. Some really great houses around here. Well, never in my life have I seen this. A cemetery closed because of snow. I mean, come on, seriously. Look at this avalanche of snow that they received that they're worried about. Look at the ground. No ice, no nothing, and yet they have it closed. I even went into the office and tried to talk them into it. They still won't budge. I said, who decides this? And who decides what is safe to walk on? Because this is, look at it. I mean, this is ridiculous. So yeah, if we don't see Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee's grave, it's because this cemetery just didn't want to be open. You can tell how treacherous it is. Look at that. Yeah, just an avalanche of snow. We're gonna give Lakeview Cemetery a gigantic thumbs down for this. Wow, that was an incredible disappointment. It really was. But let's get something to eat now. I read about a place online I want to check out. It's a called Mike's Chili Parlor, some sort of chili parlor. Well, I think it's safe to say we found Mike's Tavern Chili Parlor. Let's try it out. I'm seeing a sign over there that says it was featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri. Alright, I got a bowl of the chili spaghetti. We'll see how this goes compared to Skyline. Well, what was my consensus? I think the chili was just so-so, but the service was garbage. When I ordered, I only ordered a chili pasta and a Coke, and the waiter forgot both of them, had to ask me twice what it was I ordered. Then when he brought the food, no napkins, no fork. So, yeah, not the best stop for me anyway. Yep, unfortunately I had high hopes and it wasn't that great, but you know, maybe it's just, you know, difference in taste. I thought it was pretty bland. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw today. I'm sorry we didn't get to see Bruce Lee. I might try and go back tomorrow, and if I can get in tomorrow, I'll insert that in the vlog right here. But otherwise, have a great night. I want to thank Luann Russo for becoming my newest Patreon, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye. So I did decide to come out and check out the rocket at nighttime. There it is. Now let's look underneath it. I love it. And just think about what I said earlier, where they said that it used to blow steam out. That is pretty cool. And then look over at Saturn. That is awesome, right? So just another night in the Fremont area. Check out the Rapunzel up here.